I'm just, I need them nerfs to come in, man. I'm waiting for them nerfs. I think the game lately is kind of one of the worst spots it's ever been in as far as, like, trying to win. And I can't wait for these nerfs to come in and really help fix that. As well as eventually the rotation, which is going to be a huge thing. It's really hard to balance a game completely when the card pool is as large as it is. And the card pool is at its highest right now. So after the rotation happens, when there's less cards available, this should be easier to be balanced, right? But it's, cards like Corridor Creeper just frustrate me because it's a mechanic that is inherently high rolly and unfun, and cards like Barnes are the same thing. Just inherently, mechanically, the design of the card, if it is good, causes draw RNG that is stupid and decides games. Barnes, Keliseth, and Corridor Creeper all do that. If it's a viable card, causes draw RNG to decide the game instead of your decisions, which I don't think is very fun. Warlock would probably be fine. The thing I'm most scared of is most people in the top 10 got there with the Divine Spirit Inner Fire Priest. The Divine Spirit Inner Fire Priest is crazy strong. Doesn't use Corridor Creeper or Raza or any of the nerfed cards. Arguably one of the strongest variations of Priest. Just uses Divine Spirit and Dustbreaker and is crazy strong. Yeah, Twitch chat says draw RNG in a card game, that's what it's all about. It's not true at all. There's natural inherent draw RNG, and then there's printing cards that are on a different power level than other cards, like way out of their league, so that drawing it causes you to win the game. Examples of that can be seen with Raza Anduin, whereas the whole deck is just cards that say draw a card because nothing else matters besides drawing Raza and Anduin. That's causing a deck that emphasizes on draw RNG, which is unnecessary to do, because those cards are just so much better than the other cards when in conjunction with each other. There's Corridor Creeper, which when it's in your opening hand is so much better than anything you could possibly do, that with Aggro Paladin it's correct not to keep any 1-drops, because Corridor Creeper, Call to Arms are so much better than other things. So you actually, in your aggro deck, mulligan away your 1-drops because finding this card and finding Corridor Creeper is so much better. Which is stupid. Why are we increasing this draw RNG? And then there's Keliseth, which you just full mulligan for in some decks because drawing it is so powerful. And in some matchups, it's the only thing that matters is drawing it. So if your opponent has it, you lose. If you... It's silly. Why would we do that? Why would we emphasize it already more than it is? You can mitigate your draw RNG to try and build a deck with a curve, but you can't mitigate your draw RNG for finding Keliseth. Pirates and Galactic Crawler. Pirates, drawing patches is the same thing. Galactic Crawler as the counter to Pirates is the same thing. These are all unnecessary things that elevate the amount of draw RNG beyond natural card game draw RNG, which is just having a curve and having decent plays, right? It's just random 10-20% swings in win rate that don't need to exist. So I understand that there's supposed to be draw RNG in a card game. I also understand that, or I believe anyway, that the design of some of the cards emphasizes it more than it needs to. One winning card out of 30 is silly. Yeah, the Geist is really silly too, because if you're playing against Inner Fire Priest, for example, or Jade Druid, and you draw Geist, you win. The game's over. If you don't draw it in time, you lose. That's not fun. Why would it be a race to find the random 6-drop in a certain matchup? Why is that the gameplay that we want to exist? And Spiteful Summoners, really dumb. I don't know if you saw, there's Spiteful Summoner, all Spiteful Summoner decks line up 1-2 tournaments. And this card causes you to create a deck that is all minions and 2 giant spells, which means your decisions per turn are about 1. You play the minions on curve the entire game, or you play 1 big spell. So you can only ever play 1 card for a turn, and that's it. That's all your decisions, is playing the 1 card. And then that's the deck. It's a boring way to play the game. But it's a very effective way to play the game. It's one of the more powerful decks in the game. And you play 1 card a turn the whole game with no thought. And that card, the design of it, causes that kind of gameplay. So I think that's a silly design as well. That's it for me. I really hope Keleseth gets nerfed soon. I don't know why everyone's just okay with Keleseth changing everyone's win rate by 15% occasionally. Shouldn't exist. It's silly. The mechanic is either the card sucks because there's not enough ways to take advantage of the buff, or the card's broken and you play it in a bunch of decks and those decks become extremely high variance. That's all the card can possibly do with this effect. And I think that's a incorrect design. Whether balanced or not, I just think that it's a card that shouldn't exist. Well, that's the end of my little design rant.